What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Hold on, everything sounds a little weird right now. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna start branching into different things, and hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. I know a lot of people just want to see the prison stuff, but I think I have a unique background as far as dealing with the justice system, and I'm gonna start doing more stuff like today. Today, we're gonna let me minimize this. I wanna do some stuff with this Luigi guy, Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione is the guy that allegedly or has been arrested for his alleged role in uh the killing of what's his name, Brian Thompson. So here we have it here, Luigi Mangione's Wikipedia. And hmm, may be hard for you guys to read, but I'm going to read some of this stuff. I have a friend of mine that's in the healthcare industry, right? And my friend said that, okay, it says Brian Thompson was a 50-year-old CEO of American Health Insurance, of an American health insurance company called United Healthcare. Um, so this friend that I have told me that that company, United Healthcare, uh, was by far the worst insurance that they had to deal with. That they did not want to pay. Like if the doctor said, "Hey, this person needs to be, here and have care for 30 days," they were like, "No, we'll pay for 7 days. That's it," and then cut them loose. And they were notorious for that. And people hated dealing with them. Um, I know there's a lot of people out there that feel like what Luigi's being accused of, okay, we're just going to speak like if he is the bad guy. Okay, it's easier that way. And there's a lot of people out there right now that are looking at him like a hero, and that are kind of like championing this guy, and they want this guy to be released. My question to you is, what if someone doesn't like the job you're doing? All you guys championing this guy. What if someone doesn't like the work that you're doing? What if you work at In-N-Out and somebody feels like their animal style burger just wasn't animal style enough, or their animal fries weren't animal enough? They were not animalistic enough. And they were like, "I'm taking this person out." Where's the line, right? If it's okay, if we're going to say it's okay for people to conduct street vengeance, there's no limit to it then. Because this would be the case. This would set the precedent, right? For other people to say, "Well, wait a minute. I'm citing this case, and under this case, this is what happened, and this is the same basically crime of passion. And I need to be released the same way Luigi was." So your family members would be irate, rightfully so. Imagine, like, people wouldn't even want to work if that was the case. They'd be like, "Fuck, I'm not going to work. What if I get the loony bin? I get the loony guy that's upset about the car that I sold him, the car that he test drove and liked, but then he got it home and his lady said it was ugly, or his dude, or whatever. And then he's feeling bad about it. Like, I have to really pay this car note every month for this fucking car?" And then he goes back to the dealer and just blows him away, and then says, "Hey, Mangione case, you got to let me go." How would you feel if that happened to your son or your daughter or your sister, your mother, your father, one of your family members? How would you feel? How do you think Brian Thompson's family are feeling right now, knowing that people are celebrating the death of their loved one, the murder of their loved one? And again, we can go back to, did Luigi really do it? There are people that are saying, oh, the eyebrows don't match up, and different things. Supposedly there's a manifesto. I haven't seen it. This is honestly, I just, it dawned on me today. I said, I keep having conversations with people that are telling me, like, hey, people are championing this dude. Like, they really want him to be that guy that did this for the people and get set free. And I'm like, how is it that I am an ex-convict, a convicted killer? I killed somebody when I was 19. I was a gang member back then. I went to prison at 19. I got out when I was 43. I'm about to be 51. Okay. So I've been out almost 8 years now. I was able to reform myself, my way of thinking. How is it that me, a former gang member, convicted killer, I know how wrong it is for people to champion somebody killing someone else based on something they didn't like, or just period? There's no coming back from being killed. Right now, he's set. It's crazy, and we can talk about that as well. Luigi is set for life as far as his prison life. All these people that are championing him, there's going to be a bunch of them that are going to be writing to him, women that are going to be gorgeous women too. It's always the gorgeous ones that are going to think they can help him change, that he's just misunderstood or he was just hurt somehow. And these gorgeous women are going to send him lingerie pictures, bikini pictures, as revealing as they can get. That's what they're going to do in those pictures. They're going to send him money. They're going to send him packages. Is this a state case? I don't know if this is a state case. Let me, oh, I don't want to click on that video. I don't know whose video that is. Okay, state murder charges in New York. Look, I've never been to prison in New York or outside of California. If he was in California, he'd be okay. Luigi Mangione, he would probably run with the whites. And the politics, the way the politics run in California prisons, he'd be okay. As long as he, conducts himself like a man, carries himself like a man, is respectful, he will be treated in the same manner. From my understanding, it is not easy for white dudes in most parts of the country. New York being one of the main ones. And no disrespect to the whites, I'm sure there's always exceptions. I'm sure there's been some really hardcore white dudes that survived the system, but they have it worse. And this dude, it's to keep it, completely blunt, it is easy to kill with a gun. When you get to prison and you have to use your hands, whether there's a knife in them or not, you have to use your hands and do hand-to-hand combat with another man who is probably going to be bigger than you and more seasoned, more experienced in hand-to-hand prison warfare, combat, whatever you want to call it. Luigi may not come out on top on that, right? So, the fact that he has these people that are willing to look out for him and help him out, it's going to help him ease his prison experience. He will be known as a guy that goes to store fat. I don't know. Over here in California, you can spend 220 a month. And then you could put money on other people's books, and that's another 220. However many people you want, if you have it like that, you can do that. And you just give the guy $40 or whatever, and he makes a list for 40, and then the rest of it is your money. And you're fat. Your cell's fat. It's stacked, and you get packages. I don't know how New York State does it. I don't know what their whole canteen and quarterly packages thing is. I don't know if they have quarterly packages, but whatever it is, Luigi will be set. He's going to be prison rich. And there's guys in prison. I'm going to be 100% real. There are guys in prison that live better in prison than they do on the streets, whether it's because of their ability to sweet talk, write letters, draw, whatever it is, whatever it is. But Luigi, you're not going to win this case. It's going to be a very expensive case because it's so high profile. I don't know if there's been an attorney that has stepped up and say, hey, I'll take this case pro bono because of the publicity. I have a friend that's a really, really good, high-powered attorney, and he said, you don't really want to take a high-profile case because if you lose, that's a high-profile loss. There's other attorneys that are like, I don't care. Even if I lose, I'm going to spin that off into a whole bunch of money. So I don't know if anybody has stepped up. I would think at some point someone might. But it's going to be a hell of a case. There are things physical things that link him allegedly. There are a lot of people that are saying it's a plant, that Luigi is not the real bad guy, that the real bad guy is gone. And Luigi's the fall guy. That may be a defense that his attorney may use. I think I am gonna follow this, and if you guys like this video, we'll do a few videos on this as it unfolds. I need to look into the law more. New York law, right? State law. I don't know. Over here, he would have got charged with first-degree murder, premeditated murder. He'd be facing the death penalty or life without. I faced that. I was indicted. I had a grand jury indictment, and I was charged with special allegations of lying in wait, which carried the death penalty or life without the possibility of parole. I had that over my head for 9 months, and after 9 months, we had a hearing. My attorney and my co-defendants, their attorneys, all filed 995 motions to get some of the charges struck. And luckily, or else I wouldn't be out here, I wouldn't be doing this video. The special allegations were dropped on me of lying in wait. I don't know that they have the same thing there. I don't know. I don't even know what all of his charges are. I just wanted to speak today. I will look into it, but I just wanted to speak today more to the whole vigilante justice thing, that we need to be smarter. We need to be careful. Listen, nobody likes insurance companies. They don't. We don't. We pay insurance, and most of us, a lot of us, don't use it for year after year after year after year after year. And then when we do have to use it, it's a headache. They want to fight you tooth and nail. So I get it. And I've heard rumors about a back surgery that Luigi had that may or may not have affected his ability to perform sexually. I don't know if that's true or not, and that drove him to do this. He's 26 years old. Imagine if we're just going to run with the allegations for a second, right? Imagine that at 26 years old, your dick don't work. Wow. That could do a number on a guy's head, right? Like, imagine that's true, and the insurance is like, nope, we're not going to pay for the pump. Whatever pump, I guess there's a pump and you can pump it up. Nope. You need to just stick with it, Limpy, right? Like, what do you mean I got to stick with it? A broke dick might drive somebody to do something like this. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that is a funny little thing, right? 26 years old, in your sexual prime, and it doesn't work. That's a hell of a defense right there, right? But we cannot have the public celebrating murder. And like him or not, the victim was murdered. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It was this guy was walking down the street. Someone, they're saying it's Luigi, someone came up behind him, popped him, walked off, had dinner later that evening, slept like a baby, and may or may not have been arrested for that murder. And it was a cold-blooded murder. I've been, again, I was convicted of a murder. I killed someone who came to do harm to me and my friends. Does that justify murder? No, it doesn't. But I never went out and just killed someone who wasn't a criminal or a crook or trying to do some harm. Again, does that make my murder better than this murder? No, it doesn't. It just makes it different. And in my over 2 decades of incarceration, I learned to value every life. I learned to value my own first so that I could value yours. I could value Luigi's. I had to learn the hard way how precious life is, how precious freedom is. If it was Luigi, I'm sure he's fine with the outcome because he has to be. There's no changing it. If it wasn't Luigi, I've seen dudes in prison do decades out here in California, do decades for murders they didn't commit. I had a cellie. He did 24 years for a murder he did not commit. Was he there? He was there. So were a lot of other people. And the person that did the murder didn't send my cellie 1 penny during his 24 years of incarceration. Didn't send him a package, didn't send him a letter, didn't want to accept any phone calls from him, didn't look after his children. He just let him rot. I met a couple people like that. And I don't know what it would be like to be innocent of a murder and have to go before the parole board and fight for your freedom that should have never been taken. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. And I'm going to check out the comments. Let's get this video up to 1,000 likes or over 1,000 likes. Let's push it into the algorithm. Let's let YouTube know we're going to be doing different things over here. I don't like to just talk about my prison experience. However, my prison experience, my life experience in the justice system gives me a different point of view when it comes to these type of cases. And I have to give Jesse on Fire a lot of props for planting that seed in my brain. Like, hey, you really should look into, doing this type of content. And so thank you, Jesse, and thank you for the words of encouragement yesterday. I appreciate you and I appreciate the words. That's my video, man. Let me know in the comments what you think. If we should continue doing these, I enjoy it. I like it. And I was, you guys know me. Those of you that have been on the channel, I don't really make 20-minute videos. This is a 20-minute video. So the truckers, shout out to the truckers. The truckers are always asking to make longer videos. Here we go. These are the type of topics that I can actually get into. And remember, just to remind you guys, when I do tell prison stories, I don't tell other people's stories. A lot of these other dudes, that's all they have is someone else's stories because they didn't really live in prison for a long time. And when they did, a lot of them were just quiet. They weren't involved. And so they have to tell other people's stories. Myself, every time I tell a story, it's something I was involved in, witnessed personally, whatever. But I'm putting myself back in prison in order to tell this story and relive this story. And it gets old. So again, if you guys like this and you guys want to see more stuff like this, hit me up on Discord. Send me news clips of things you want me to talk about. Leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what stories you want me to talk about, what you want my opinion on, and I got you guys. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them.